Not every car with a cool design and roaring engine is a safe ride. Some were built to impress but ended up terrifying their drivers. Take the tiny BMW Asetta, just 13 horsepower and one front door. Cute? Sure, but in a crash, you were stuck. Or the Ford Pinto, where even a light rear-end hit could cause a deadly explosion. And the Ferrari 458 Italia, a 202-mile-per-hour beauty with flammable glue hidden inside. These cars didn't just turn heads, they raised red flags. Stay with us as we uncover the most dangerous rides ever made. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. BMW Asetta, 1955 to 1962. The BMW Asetta was a tiny car designed in Italy. Because of its round shape, people lovingly called it the bubble car. It looked cute and sold well when it first came out, but it was about as safe as riding inside a real bubble. Sadly, saving gas didn't mean much if you couldn't stay alive. The Asetta had just one door in the front and a canvas sunroof, and those were the only ways to get out. Even a small crash could trap people inside. The BMW Asetta had a small 298 cubic centimeter one-cylinder engine that made 13 horsepower at 5,800 revolutions per minute. It came with a 4-speed manual transmission, weighed about 770 pounds, 350 kilograms, and gave great fuel mileage of around 60 miles per gallon. Even though it was tiny, it stood out at a time when big, powerful muscle cars were all the rage. Chevrolet Corvair, 1960 to 1969. In the 1960s, the Chevrolet Corvair had a stylish look that made it seem like it would become a classic. But inside, passengers often had to ask, "What's that smell?" It was just toxic engine fumes. Holding your breath inside was not the only problem. The Corvair had a rear-mounted engine, which made the car's weight uneven and the handling tricky, especially in early models. Things got even worse when Ralph Nader's book Unsafe at Any Speed called out the Corvair as an example of everything wrong with the car industry. Chevy stopped making the Corvair in 1969, though you can still find one today. The Chevrolet Corvair came with a 140 cubic inch flat-six engine, and later versions had a turbocharged engine that made 180 horsepower. Early models made 80 horsepower. It offered a 3-speed manual, 4-speed manual, or 2-speed automatic transmission. With a 108-inch wheelbase and a length of 180 inches, the Corvair's swing axle suspension and handling problems made it one of the more dangerous cars of its time. Ford Pinto, 1971 to 1978. Ford was known for making affordable cars with great gas mileage. To keep that reputation, they made the Pinto in the 1970s. The Pinto looked like a smart choice, but it had a dangerous problem. The fuel tank was placed too far back, and even a small hit to the weak bumper could cause the car to catch fire or even explode. It was a serious problem. 27 people lost their lives in Pinto fires, but some believe the real number could be even higher. The Ford Pinto, made from 1971 to 1980, came with a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder Kent engine. At first, it produced 75 horsepower, but later it dropped to 54 horsepower. The Pinto was 163 inches long, 69.4 inches wide, and 50 inches tall. It weighed between 2,015 and 2,270 pounds. Its rear gas tank made it very risky in rear-end crashes, which gave the Pinto a bad and dangerous name. Ferrari 458 Italia, 2010 to 2015. The Ferrari 458 Italia was a stunning car, resembling a beautiful yet dangerous queen. Built for speed, the 2010 model had a serious issue. Speeding could cause it to explode. The adhesive near the rear wheel arches was highly flammable, and if fire reached the exhaust manifold, the whole car could catch fire. Ferrari had to recall all 1,248 458 Italia cars, asking owners to return their 225,325 vehicles for repairs. Despite this, production lasted only 5 years. The 458 Italia, 2010 to 2015, is powered by a 4.5-liter V8 engine, producing 562 bhp at 9,000 RPM. It accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.3 seconds and reaches a top speed of 202 miles per hour. Weighing only 1,380 kilograms, it combines speed and lightness efficiently. It consumes 13.3 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers and has a drag coefficient of 0.33, allowing it to cut through the air easily. Its 104.3-inch wheelbase ensures sharp handling. Yugo GV 1975 to 1989. The GV badge on the Yugo was supposed to mean good value, but it felt more like a one-way trip to trouble. Built in the former Yugoslavia, this little boxy car made its way out of the Soviet bloc and into America in 1986. It looked simple, but the materials used were so weak that parts would fall off without warning. Even worse, in a front-end crash, the engine could shoot straight into the cabin, putting front-seat passengers in real danger. Under the hood, the Yugo GV first came with a small 1.1-liter four-cylinder engine that gave just 55 horsepower. Later on, they tried to improve it with a 1.3-liter engine that used fuel injection and bumped up the power to 64 horsepower. It was a light car weighing only 1,860 pounds. But when it came to speed, it struggled, needing 14 seconds just to reach 60 miles per hour. On the bright side, it did offer a fuel economy of 32 miles per gallon. Buyers could pick between a 4-speed or 5-speed manual transmission, which kept the price low but didn't help much with performance. Pontiac Fiero, 1984 to 1988. The early Pontiac Fieros had a serious problem with engine fires, mainly because oil would leak onto the hot exhaust parts. By 1987, the fires from the 1984 models were happening at a rate of 20 cars catching fire each month. Even though Pontiac kept making the Fiero for a few years, their engineers already knew it had big problems before it even went on sale. An urgent memo from October 6, 1983, showed that 2 Fieros had burst into flames during test drives. Despite these scary issues in the early models, the Fiero still managed to build a loyal fan base over time. The 1984 to 1988 Fiero came in 2 types. The standard model had a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, making 92 horsepower. The Fiero GT came with a stronger 2.8-liter V6 that produced 140 horsepower. Depending on the version, the car weighed between 1,170 and 1,265 kilograms. The standard Fiero could hit 103 miles per hour, while the GT could reach 125 miles per hour. Buyers could choose between a 3-speed automatic or a 4-speed manual transmission. Hudson Hornet, 1951 to 1957. The Hudson Hornet made a big splash in the 1950s with its powerful engine and stylish look. It quickly became a favorite of NASCAR drivers, dominating races with its speed. But that speed came with a catch. The Hornet's handling could be a bit wild at high speeds, making it prone to accidents and earning a spot on the list of dangerous cars of the time. The 1951 to 1957 Hudson Hornet came with a 308 cubic inch 5.0-liter inline-6 engine that produced 145 horsepower. Its fuel economy was between 12 to 18 miles per gallon, showing that it was all about power. Transmission choices included a 3-speed manual, hydromatic automatic, and ultramatic automatic in V8 models. Weighing in as a heavy car built for speed, it also offered bigger V8 engines up to 327 cubic inches. These cars might have looked cool or promised good mileage, but their dark sides couldn't be ignored. From exploding gas tanks to engines that couldn't be trusted, each of these vehicles had serious flaws that made them dangerous. The BMW Asetta was too tiny to be safe. The Corvair had deadly design issues. The Pinto turned crashes into fireballs. The Ferrari 458 had a fire risk no one expected. And cars like the Yugo, Fiero, and Hudson Hornet proved that speed or low cost sometimes came at a big price. These cars may have made headlines, but not always for the right reasons. So, in your opinion, which car do you think was the most dangerous of them all? Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update.